I mean, the takeaway here, I think, is that the county government has been historically pretty fiscally conservatively managed, as well as the forest preserve. Rob and I are all about trying to keep it that way. The
Yes.
property
Yeah.
tax bills are disproportionately high as far as the overall tax rate of all these taxing bodies in Kendall County. And I think one reason for that would be that our housing values are a little bit lower than a lot of other places, and we still want good schools, and we still want a lot of these services like a well-funded fire department and um, county government, the police, all those things that we don't want to have a poor version of. We want to have a public library. These things are important, but you and I a lot while I'm trying to campaign for a county board seat hear a lot from people about that we need to do more to address property taxes, and there are
Right.
things we can do. We talked to the economic development director, and one of the biggest win-win things in here is work with these people that work in economic development around the county to get more businesses here, so businesses can take on a larger share of the tax burden and less for the
Mhm.
residents. And of course, employees can come into the area and do those 0.5% taxes that you talked about that fund the roads and fund the police department, and take some of that burden off of the residents as well. That's really kind of the best lever we have, and just watching spending and trying to maintain the philosophy and the legacy we have of being pretty fiscally conservative in Kendall County. Would you have anything to add to that, Robin, or does that about cover
Um,
it?
that it does cover it. And I just wanted to add another benefit of economic development. When you bring businesses in, and that's how you increase your tax base, you're not bringing in students, which then doesn't raise the cost at the schools. So, it's really important to get those businesses. I don't know what the county-wide numbers are. I can tell you in Oswego, I believe it's about close to 80% now is residential property taxes, which just makes it, it just puts more burden on the homeowners. If we get more businesses paying, then our percentage will go down. If we can get it down to 60%, I'll be overjoyed.
Right. I think everyone would be.
Hmm.
And the end takeaway that I get is that what's the county's main role is to collect these property taxes, which are then distributed throughout all of
Correct.
those line item taxing bodies, right? So people say, "Oh, I've
Yes.
got to go to the county building and drop off a check for 3 or 5 or 7 or $10,000." Boy, this county government needs to fix this problem, and you can see why
Right.
they would say that.
Yes. And after the tax bills go out or the first payments due, I get that a lot when I run into people out shopping. It's like, man, I
Because it
just paid
hurts.
you a
It's not
ton.
fun.
It's
It's not
right,
fun writing that check for $5,000 or $7,000 or whatever it is.
and really all we're doing is just collecting it and sharing, and then if you turn around and the treasurer collects it and turns around and gives it back to the taxing bodies. So
And the vast majority of that is the schools.
yes,
And we
yeah,
all know that having good schools, even if you don't have kids in school, keeps your property tax values high and
yep.
protects your investment. So even if you're not quote unquote, getting the benefit from that with your own children, of course,
Hmm.
having educated children in your area is lots of benefit for a lot of reasons, but you're
Right,
still protecting your own property tax values by having great schools in your area.
right. And you decrease crime, and I mean, there's a whole lot of social um,
Oh yeah.
benefits as well from having good schools. So
My mother was a teacher in Yorkville for I think like 20 years in the Yorkville School District. So I'm a big proponent of teachers and having good teachers as well.
yeah.
You have a video that's going to be launching in the next few days talking about the tax rate in Kendall County and in Illinois and how that money is
Property taxes,
spent,
yeah.
what the property taxes go for. And Illinois is facing a huge challenge this fall with the fair tax initiative, which you and I, the three of us, all know that is what's going to directly impact property taxes and cause them to lower as we change how we fund our public school system, which is the biggest drain or the biggest cost, I should say, the
Yeah,
biggest
it's in the 70
expense.
percentage of your property
70%.
taxes goes to the public
And
schools, right?
when we shift away from the property tax model for school funding and onto general revenue through income tax, our property taxes are going to drop and people are going to start being really happy then, But I love the fact that you've
Yeah, I
put
mean,
it.
I would love to see them drop. I would think that they could drop. Will they actually drop?
Well,
I don't know. They certainly won't get any worse, right? That's the idea.
well, and we need to go and talk to our school boards because they're the ones that set these rates or that ask for this certain amount. And once they get better funding, we all have to do our due diligence and lobby our school boards to change it. However, the
Right.
video you have coming out explains how the taxes are used under the current model we have, and how people can save some money, where your money goes, and that sort of thing. So when that comes out, we want to be sure and link that link to your video. So I just
Yeah,
thought
yesterday, Robin Vickers, who's currently on the board, she's from District 2. She's been really vocal about people understanding their tax bill. I thought it was a great opportunity for us to collaborate and make a video that explains, here's your property tax bills, here's mine in Newark, here's hers in Oswego. Let's see where the money goes, and let's talk about, first of all, obviously, I would make sure everyone has their exemptions, but I think most people have that. Talk about the fact that you can, if you think your property tax value is too high, you can appeal it.
Right.
And then just go down the list of where all these things go. And really, there's value in every single one of those line items. In the county board, what we can do at the county board is about 8% of your tax bill.
Mhm.
And it's not a whole lot. We've been historically really well managed fiscally in Kendall County.
Yes.
So what we can do at the county level to take money out of it is limited, but we need to be looking for everything we can do. And to your point, Heidi, the schools and the fair tax, luckily that's a state issue, something I don't have to advocate for as much, but I know that I know it's important, and I'll be voting for it. Even if it does raise my taxes someday, or even now, I don't think it does now. I did the little fair tax calculator. I don't think anyone I know that can do the fair tax calculator can make it actually increase your taxes.
I don't know too many
That's
people
today,
that
right?
make over $250,000 a year. So those are the ones that are really fighting it and convincing others that it's going to raise everybody's taxes, which it clearly isn't, because it's already settled law. They've already set the parameters for it. And yes,
And
everything
I
can
think
change.
to be really clear,
Yeah.
it doesn't impact your taxes it doesn't impact your income that you make that's below $250,000, right? So
No,
Nope.
$251st that's penalized.
Yeah.
So if you make 249 or you make 255, I mean, it's going to make zero difference to you. If you make 500, yeah, that last 250 is going to be taxed at a higher rate.
The other thing is that passing fair tax will prevent retirement income from being taxed, which they can do without a 2/3 vote. And as my husband's retired, God, I don't want to pay taxes on it. We can't afford. People on fixed incomes can't afford that. I'm still working, but his working career is over. And
Making the income more fair, right? People that can afford to pay the higher taxes should pay higher taxes. People that can't afford it should pay less. But I believe everyone should pay something. Everyone has some skin in the game.
Yeah.
But we need to make it equitable. We need to make it so people
fair.
Fair is the key word, right? But we want
No.
to make it so we're not overly burdening those with low incomes these people that want a flat tax or that we have now. It sounds fair in theory, but it's far from fair, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
To be able to balance a budget on a flat tax, you put a severely higher burden on those people that make less money.
Yeah.